review for Transformers Combiner Wars Breakneck, aka Wild Rider. Again, one of the two exclusives that will be going up for pre-order soon. Along with Quickslinger, aka Slingshot, which we just did the video for. One of the things I forgot to mention in the video for Slingshot or Quickslinger is that they do both come with their comics, with their art on the front. I'm not sure if these are reprints of the comics that would have originally come with the originals, or with their non-repaint versions. This is Combiner Wars issue 3. They're giving these individual issue numbers that come with the figures. And issues 1 through 4, if you remember, that first wave didn't come with comics. I feel like I've heard that subsequent waves will. So this may be a reprint of the comic that came with Firefly. Although we'll have to wait and see. Breakneck comes with issue 8. And I'll have to double check. I feel like maybe I've seen this one before, but I didn't dig out all the comics to double check. But he comes with issue 8, which would make sense to coming with issues. If issues 4 through 8 came with the second wave of figures, then that would make sense. And they both each come with their instruction sheets as well. So yeah. Here is Breakneck. I will probably refer to him as Wild Rider several times. He comes with, again, just like Dead End, the pipe/baton weapon and the purple handgun foot piece here. He's going to be a foot, so we'll leave it in the foot position. Now, Takara is putting out Wild Rider as part of their box set of Menasor. And I feel like that one does have a slightly better deco. Instead of the solid red down here, he's got kind of like some jagged paint detailing down here. I think it looks a little bit more dynamic, however, not dynamic enough to buy an entire second Menasor just to have Wild Rider when he was available separately, just to have that one, a different deco on that one figure. He's a dark gray with a kind of maroonish windows and then some red down here on the sides of vehicle mode. He is, aside from his head, just like Quickslinger, he is pretty much a straight remold of Dead End. And so he transforms pretty much the same way. Actually, exactly the same way. By opening up the legs down here and flipping them down and around. Closing them up. Getting them all the way up. There we go, and closing them up. The chest piece flips down. The windshield here flips up. And that allows this to fold back. The arms come up. You can't actually fold this further down. It should fold further down. Oh, that looks like the connector combiner port is, there we go, catching it. There we go. And this can fold down onto his back. Like that, this piece comes down and snaps into the chest, which allows his head to turn around. And you can see the new mold head there. That looks like Wild Rider's head with the spikes on the side and all that. Flip out the fists. And rotate his waist around. And there you have him in robot mode. I'll bring the shoulders up. He's got a ball-jointed head, although it's a little limited just by the shape of the head and the squareness around it. Ball-joint shoulders with that transforming shoulder hinge, bicep swivel, hinge elbows, no wrist swivel, waist swivel, ball-joint hips, thigh swivel, and hinge knees, much like many of the Combiner Wars figures. He can hold his pipe if you want. And in general, his robot mode I really dig. Like I said, it's pretty much Dead End with some minor retooling, especially the new head there. Could have sworn this came out further. There we go. So I knew this could fold down onto his back. So yeah, the Dead End mold is one of my favorites, the Dead End Streetwise mold. So having it again here for Wild Rider. It does take away a little bit of uniqueness to not have off-road in there, because with off-road in the mix, you had 4 distinct molds for the limbs. And I like off-road. I like the basic design of off-road in both truck and robot mode. But like I said with the Quickslinger video, if you're going to give me a Wild Rider to put on Menasor, I'm going to put Wild Rider on Menasor because that's where he belongs. But I do like off-road. Like Alpha Bravo I could set to the side a little easier because I've already got that basic same mold with a different head on Defensor, and he's an actual canon character for Defensor. Off-road's a little tougher to put away because he is a unique mold, and it gives a little bit more visual distinction to Menasor when it all combined. But I do like the official Wild Rider, and the fact that they used probably my favorite mold so far, at least for the Deluxes in the Combiner Wars series, doesn't hurt. So yeah. I do feel like there might be some mold degradation in this, just because this piece right here that's supposed to flip down, it popped off very easily. Like, this peg seems to not want to hold this thing anymore. It was already kind of loose on my original dead end in Streetwise, and it just, every use of this mold, this little piece seems to tab on looser and looser. So, just a heads up. Again, he can turn into an arm, just like dead end can, as well as a leg. We're going to put him in leg configuration for this. And to do that, we just kind of turn him mostly back into a car here. I'm going to bring the legs down, rotate them around like this, fold them up, close them up. Actually, before we close them up, fold in his fists, grab his pipe weapon, bring his arms down to the side here. And then we could close the legs around them and peg them together. Like I said, basically turning him back, his lower half back into a car. This piece comes up. You can flip his head piece up to hide his head a bit. Turn his head around here so it's not quite as visible from the outside. Flip this up. Flip out the connector peg, which is not attached to the head on this mold. Now you can have this all folded down if you want for leg mode. I like to leave it up a little bit to kind of give him the car kneecap. Gives a little bit more visual distinction than just flipped up and folded down and square. And then plug the foot into the bottom here like that. And then we'll take Menasor here, and we'll snap him into place here as a leg. Let's use that connector port. Plug it right in there to the leg here. Stand him up, and we'll get a wide angle shot, don't worry. He forms a leg there. Like that, and there is Menasor all together with the original Stunticons. And you can see what he'd look like as an arm. There's dead end up as the left arm there. And being the same mold aside from the head, just the color swap is really all you get, so you get an idea of what he'd look like as an arm there. And then just real quick, we'll show him off with Superion with all of them. So there are the two new Combiner Wars Deluxes on their respective combiners. I really like Superion with all 5 jets. I think he looks... Superion may be the best combiner all put together of the 3 we've got so far. Like I said, I am partial to Defensor just because of my childhood memories, but I do think objectively grading Superion's, if you're only going to get one combiner, Superion's the one to get. But yeah, so there they are all together. And of course, there is Breakneck, aka Wild Rider. There's a leg there on the end, on the bottom of Menasor.